very familiar with Manchester Bidwell School and Bill Strickland. He was here a couple of years ago, and there's actually a group of people who are beginning to put together money to look at a feasibility plan to begin something like the Manchester Bidwell School. And so I would actually absolutely support them in the work that they're doing, try to help them find money so that we can do something here in the neighborhood where we can get people ready for work. The neighborhood accountability boards absolutely need to move forward with something like that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Was it address your question?
Yes, Commissioner Ryan. Ms. Ryan, Forbes magazine ranked West Palm Beach as the 8th most miserable place to live in the nation. Do you agree with that? And if not, why?
Thank you. What Forbes did is identify Palm Beach County and specifically designated West Palm Beach because we're the capital city as one of the 8 worst communities to live in. And Forbes magazine looks at communities based upon a business perspective. You know, is this a community in which a business can come, implement what it is that they do, provide jobs for the community? Does it have safe neighborhoods? Do they have safe schools, or do they have high quality schools? These are all issues that we in the city of West Palm Beach have to confront and deal with. We are put on the front page of a business magazine that says, do not come to West Palm Beach because they are not open for business. There's so many things that we must do, and I have to say that I'm flattered by all of the suggestions that I have provided over the last couple of months, and to hear back as things that the city is going to implement and begin to do.
Thank you, Ms. Ryan. Commissioner Douglas, this is a question from the audience, there is still a drainage problem in Roosevelt Estates that needs to be addressed, as well as Australian Avenue corridor. When is the city going to put back money in this neighborhood for the needed stormwater drainage?
Thank you for that question. I don't have a date for that. I just completed, I didn't do it myself. Flagler, north of the city, has been promised for 10 years. We finally got that funded. The one thing I can say to you is that and we have Parker done. We're getting a lot done in Coleman Park. So there's no reason to expect that we can't get this done. The difference today, very simply, is we have to assemble grant money. This may very well be on the schedule. I don't have the complete schedule of projects as they're predicted out into the future in my memory banks, and I'm sorry for that. But if the person that asked the question will give me their name and number, I'll find out when it's supposed to happen, and I'll let you know. Because we're aware how bad the drainage is. We're aware how bad the infrastructure is. I have had streets caved in neighborhoods to the south and neighborhoods to the north. Really big sinkholes because the infrastructure has collapsed. So it's not.
Thank you, Commissioner. Sure.
I want to answer the one on why the black men are more in prison than they are in the job scene. I went and looked at the campaign contribution reports of some of the top positions in the state. It's available online from the Department of State. And then I went over to the IRS website and I looked at the registered groups that actually do the donations. What I found was that throughout the state, in Tampa, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and Miami, the prison system, which is privately run, provides more than half of the funds for the judges and the district attorneys. The prison system in this state has literally become a privatized business. It costs, and this is from the Criminal Justice Academy, it costs almost $80 a day per person in jail. And they literally go ahead and put on sustenance for the prisoners, $2.33 a day. They're receiving less calories than the Geneva Convention goes ahead and insists for prisoners of war. Until this state turns around and decides to spend more on schools and on prisons, that isn't going to change.
Commissioner Moya, if elected, will you be in favor of supporting or initiating a disparity study if one is not already currently in existence?
A disparity study in terms of employment of minority, abuse of minority businesses, the extent to which Yes, absolutely. I think we need to do that. I'm one of those people who really believes that we have to measure what we do. And we need to look closely at the things that are happening in the city, especially in terms of how we want to use our funding. And those things that we have policies on. And we have a policy on this in terms of minority contractors. So I'm absolutely in favor of measuring it, seeing where we are, and if it needs to be fixed, fixing it.
Thank you, Commissioner Moyle. Ms. Ryan, the sewage plants on Grant Division in 23rd and Tamarind, when are you going to close them down? Because they've been causing some problems for the community for some time.
Say that again, what?
The sewage plants on Grant Division in 23rd and Tamarind, when are you going to close them, or would you close them down if elected? Because they've been causing some significant problems for the community.
Yes, and I think that there is a plan to deal with that. What we have right now is our water treatment facility that is on track to be upgraded and reconstructed. And right behind that, we have the wastewater treatment facility. The problem is that we have waited for so long for our infrastructure to fail, and we've not made any provisions for which to provide for capital improvements. I know that it is on the plan. I don't think that there are funds to start it immediately, but I do know that there are funds available to fix problems as they occur. And I think that we're going to continue to do that until we have our infrastructure completely completed. But I think what we ought to do is take the funds that we have and go to the problems that we know exist and not wait until somebody's home is flooded, the street is flooded, or we've got wastewater treatment, flowing through the street. So I think we need to take a look at our capital improvement plans and go out and resolve these issues today.
Thank you, Ms. Ryan. This question is for both Commissioners Douglas and Moyle. And I will start with Commissioner Douglas. Both of you have faced some criticism over the past few weeks regarding your length in office as commissioners and the amount of progress that has been made in that time period in the city of West Palm Beach. How would you respond to your critics who say that you already had your shot at tackling the economic plight of our city and the deficit?
Well, commissioners don't really get a shot at the deficit. That's not true. But we're in financially such bad shape, I believe, because of money spent for my tenure. I'll remind you, I've been here 4 years. I didn't vote on the city hall. I didn't vote on the library, though I love it. I didn't vote on the waterfront. Of course, those are different monies. However, if someone says, I have not accomplished anything in office, I have just a brief list of things I have accomplished. I've been a very hard-working commissioner. I've been devoted, committed, and accessible, and I've loved doing it. The first thing I did when I was elected was I implemented a proposal that allowed people to be noticed by certified mail if the city was doing anything that would impact their property values. Until I did that, it was a notice stuck on the door, and you were noticed. They took a picture of that notice. If the wind blew it off, the neighbor took it down, you were in Maine, you didn't know anything about it. The next thing I did was go to work on construction services to my own peril. I had my tires slashed, I had an FBI complaint filed against me. Here's a full page of my accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Moyle?
Yes, thank you. I too have been on the commission for the last 4 years, and I'm actually very proud of the work that I've done in these 4 years. I've represented my district well and represented the city well. Let me tell you a little bit about what I've done. First of all, our water catchment area is critical to our water supply, and I've worked hard to make sure that the county did not build a road through our water catchment area. We worked together with the citizens, and there was a top-down, bottom-up fight, county, and we won. Continuing to fight State Road 7, which is also planned to go through our water catchment area. I've arranged to get lights on Jog Road, which is one of the darkest roads in our city. When I came in, we were not requiring bonds from people who were coming in to do work in the city. People were going to develop condos and decided not to and just left the ground vacant. As a result of something that I suggested, we now give them a bond to beautify the area where the condo is not developed. That's just a couple of the things that I've done.
Thank you, Commissioner
You
Moyle.
can't answer that, Ken.
Ms. Ryan, given the history of African